Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. My name is Mashitah Binti Yusof from Polytechnic Sultan Abdul Halim Aksar Shah, Jakarta. Today I will present a study titled Environmental Protection and Value Creation. This study was conducted in 2015. The negative impact on the natural environment due to various economic activities are becoming an increasing concern among stakeholders and public at large. From a business perspective, protection of the natural environment is concerned with organizations' impact on living and non-living ecosystem, including ecosystem, land, air, and water. The loss of forests is worrying since the forest is important not only for environmental and economic reasons, but also social and cultural reasons. Stakeholders of corporations are becoming more appreciative of companies that disclose their corporate social responsibility information in their annual and sustainability report and are attaching a higher value of this type of organization. Therefore, managers of corporations need to ensure that the environmental strategies of their companies are consistent with the overall corporate strategies and are embedded as part of overall governance mechanism to ensure that such strategies will add value to the organization. Analysis for the annual and sustainability report of 200 Sharia-compliant companies from 4 industries, namely construction, plantation, consumer product, and industrial product, were carried out to evaluate the quality of information disclosed by management of this company relating to their environmental practices for the year 2013. The aim of this study is to provide evidence on the environmental practices of Sharia-compliant companies and subsequent impact in creating value to organizations. Lastly, there has been an increasing demand and awareness among Muslim communities globally for investment in financial assets to be aligned with the precept of Islamic teaching. Malaysia is one of the Muslim countries which is in the forefront of addressing the flourishing needs of the Muslim community by establishing Sharia-compliant companies who will invest in Sharia-compliant securities. As of 25th May 2013, which is the current year of the study, 825 companies listed on Bursa Malaysia were classified as Sharia-compliant companies that represented 89% of the total number of companies listed on Bursa Malaysia. This indicates that the importance of this type of companies where the amount of capital invested is now dominating the majority of the overall capital market. The Sharia Advisory Council, which was established by Securities Commission, is responsible to approve the core activities of Sharia-compliant companies to ensure that they are not contrary to Sharia principles. Therefore, for the stakeholders to evaluate the accountability of Sharia-compliant companies, it is important for the information about their economic and social responsibility to be disclosed. The involvement of Sharia-compliant companies in activities of environmental protection and preservation of the ecosystem should be communicated by the managers to their stakeholders to enable such activities to create value for the organizations. Environmental communication can range from communication to decision-making process and procedure to media publicly and ultimately to public attention. This is because the environmental information provides a good indicator to stakeholders of management commitment towards preserving and protecting the natural environment and its willingness to engage in the environmental protection and improvement activities. Historically, the disclosure of environmental information worldwide began in the late 1980s and the 1990s as a response to investor concern about the environment resulting in companies voluntarily disclosing the impact of their activities. However, a review of Prior literature suggests that the quality of such environmental information provided to date can be further improved, as the information provided was still very little of general and qualitative type of information aimed at creating positive corporate image. In this study, it is expected that when managers of Sharia-compliant companies provide more environmental information to stakeholders, such actions will be able to create value for the organization, especially if the environmental activities are performed in line with the principle of Sharia. Hence, the following hypothesis is developed. There is a significant positive relationship between environmental information and value creation. A content analysis approach was used to gather the environmental information disclosed from the annual and sustainability report of 200 Sharia-compliant companies for the year 2013. This method allows the accountability of the Sharia-compliant companies about their environmental practices to be evaluated through the disclosure of information to the public. An Islamic CSR Environmental Index developed by Yusof and Darus 2014 was used. The index measured the environmental information disclosed based on 5 key areas, namely environmental related policy, climate change mitigation and adaptation, prevention of pollution, green product and services, protection and restoration of the natural environment. The value creation to the organization as a result of disclosure of environmental information was measured both in terms of financial and non-financial attributes to form a value creation index. Table 2 presents the value creation index developed for the purpose of this study. The findings from Figure 1 reveal that the plantation industry discloses the highest level of environmental information, followed by the industrial product, consumer product, and construction industry. The low disclosure for the construction industry is concerned because construction industry by its nature is closely linked with activities of deforestation, waste generation and disposal, where such activities put enormous stress on the environment. The result from Figure 2 revealed that the plantation industry had the highest mean score for the disclosure of environmental information for Key Area 1, Key Area 2, and for Key Area 4. The higher disclosure of information for the plantation industry could be due to an increased awareness about the impact of uncontrolled economic development on the environment, especially where the majority of the companies in the plantation industry in Malaysia are certified members of the Malaysian Palm Oil Board, where they are required to disclose the information to comply with MPOB's Code of Practices for Quality, Food Safety and Sustainability. The result from Figure 3 indicates that the management of the plantation industry disclosed more information regarding items that are considered as vital information based on the Islamic Environment Index. The highest information disclosed relates to Key Area 1, Environmental Related Policy, and Key Area 3, Prevention and Pollution, followed by Key Area 2, Climate Change Mitigation and Adaptation. The result from Figure 4 presents the mean score of the recommended item by industry. The result revealed that, again, the plantation industry had the highest mean score for Key Area 2, Climate Change Mitigation and Adaptation, and for Key Area 5, Protection and Restoration of the Natural Environment. The result suggests that the management of the plantation industry of the Sharia-compliant companies is in the forefront in the context of providing information about their involvement with the natural environment for the vital and recommended items. Table 3 presents the descriptive statistic for the value creation index. The highest mean score relates to the profitability attributes 0.52. The lowest mean score 0.04 was for Brand World International. Table 4 presents the result of the regression analysis between environmental disclosure and value creation. The result revealed that environmental disclosure is significant to value creation. Therefore, hypothesis 1 is accepted. The result from the study revealed that companies in the plantation industry were the leaders in the provision of environmental information and were the most successful in terms of prioritization of such practices in accordance with the value and principle of Sharia. However, the quality of information disclosed by all the Sharia-compliant companies could be further improved to include measurable quantitative information where the output and outcomes as a result of such activities could be easily assessed by the stakeholders. This is especially critical as the result of the study revealed that the quality of environmental disclosure provided can create value to the organization. Such value creation could enhance the competitiveness and the performance of the Sharia-compliant companies and in turn will fulfill the Malaysian government commitment to making Malaysia as the global leader in Islamic capital market. That's all from me. Thank you.